I still remember those long, quiet nights spent on the wide veranda, the air thick with the scent of damp earth and blooming jasmine. I would sit at the feet of Mother Maria, lost in the rhythm of her voice as she spun stories of old. Her hair was a magnificent crown of white wool, glowing softly in the moonlight, and her face was a beautiful, intricate map of 1,000 days lived and lost. She was more than a nanny. She had been my true mother since the day I lost my own in the shadows of my childhood. Every night, with a tenderness that never wavered, she led me to my bedside. She would gently guide my sleepy, small hands to press together her own calloused palms over mine as she made me recite the Lord's Prayer before sleep claimed me. The day finally arrived when I had to leave for boarding school, a transition that felt like a tearing of my very soul. I clung to her coarse blue striped skirt with all the strength the young boy could muster, my hot tears soaking deep into her white apron. The world felt cold and uncertain without her. She did not indulge my weakness, though I saw the moisture in her own eyes. She wiped them quickly with a rough, hard-working hand and pushed me gently toward the waiting carriage. Go, Neo Amancio, go and become a man of honor, she whispered, her voice steady despite the ache. I will be here, right here, praying for you every single hour. A long year of study passed in the gray halls of school, and I returned home a different boy, taller, perhaps more distant. Upon my return, the house felt the same, yet Mother Maria seemed to have shrunk. She looked frailer than I remembered, her steps slower and more uncertain as she moved through the corridors of my youth. I felt a strange, restless energy, a need to assert my new self. One sweltering afternoon, while she was busy scrubbing laundry in the yard, I wandered toward the back near the chicken coop. I felt a senseless, boyish urge to cause a stir. I began picking up heavy stones from the dirt, throwing them with reckless abandon at the squawking hens, watching them scatter in panic. I was lost in my own world of thoughtless play, not noticing her moving into the line of fire. I did not see her move toward the path. I did not see the danger until it was too late. The world seemed to slow down as the stone left my hand. Suddenly, she stumbled into the clearing. The stone struck with a sickening thud. She collapsed onto the hard earth, her hands flying to her head in a desperate, instinctive motion. Crimson blood surged violently between her fingers, staining the ground and the white soap suds. My heart stopped beating in my chest. A thick, suffocating fog of terror blinded me as I realized what I had done. I sprinted toward her, my throat tight with choked, jagged sobs that wouldn't come out. I had struck her, my protector, my mother. I screamed her name into the empty air, a sound of pure agony. Even as the light faded from her eyes and she slipped toward unconsciousness, she reached out a trembling, bloodied hand to touch my face. Do not cry, Neo Amancio, she murmured, her voice a ghostly thread of love. It is nothing, just a small stumble. The household rushed to the yard, drawn by my piercing cries. They found her lying there on the wet soap, her head split open against the unforgiving stone path. The chaos that followed is a blur of shouting and shadows. Later, after the doctor had bandaged her wound and she lay resting in the deep shadows of her quiet room, I crawled to her bedside like a wounded animal. I buried my face in her chest, the scent of lavender and soap still clinging to her. I kissed her weathered cheeks over and over, seeing for the first time the true depth of her soul. In those wrinkled features, I saw the radiant beauty of the angels she had described to me in those long forgotten stories. I realized then that I was in the presence of a saint, and I wept for the boy I used to be.